What's up, people? Mike here, and this is Batman Arkham Knight, new game plus, and we need to escape Ace Chemicals before it completely blows up. And as you can see, the big story development is the fact that we're hallucinating the Joker because of the blood transfusion that he gave us in the second game. So, yeah, that's when the initial shock that, like, when he shows up, I immediately was like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting him to still be in the third game, and they somehow kept it a secret, because until the game came out and I played it, I never heard any kind of talk about the possibility of even just like in like flashbacks of seeing the Joker or anything like that.
It's okay, Alfred.
So I give Rocksteady credit for actually keeping that big of a spoiler, like story development, from getting out. And yeah, there's some moments later on in this game, like story wise, that I wasn't expecting initially, and
Analyze the militia forces. Troop deployment.
even on like my second playthrough, I still like the developments that happen. None of them really feel dumb or stupid in my opinion, at least. So and so after we get out of Ace Chemicals, we have to go to the the GCPD to get Gordon, and then we'll go into the Watchtower. But what you can do, because when you get Gordon and you come here, you have to take out all these enemies so that you can go into the Clocktower, and also so Gordon can go in. So you pretty much like picking him up, and then deal with some tanks, and then you have to deal with all the guys that are patrolling out here. So what I decided to do was deal with these guys before I pick up Gordon, just so I don't know, I felt like it was quicker this way. It probably really doesn't matter which way. And then I don't know what happened there. It told me it gave me the option to do the fear takedown. I was selecting that guy in front of me, but for some weird reason it wouldn't let me attack him. So that whole thing kind of got fucked up on me. And as I said in one of the previous videos, I still have a bit of like a hoarse throat from this this cough and cold that I had. But and then what I like to do sometimes if my Predator thing doesn't work out the way it's supposed to, I try to lay down some explosive gel, so when the guys go to investigate the body, I can just blow it up. And I have the upgrade for the explosive gel that I think they have to be pretty close to it. It'll be an instant knockout on them, instead of it just stunning them. So like for that guy, he was close enough to it when I set it off that it just like knocked him out. And then once we get to the GCPD and we get Gordon, we have this moment where these two vehicles go after Gordon. It actually ended up happening where I got ahead of these vehicles, and so I had to actually like slow down just so that these things could get in front of me. And I do some pretty shitty driving here. Like, I don't even know what the fuck was going on there with that driving. It was pretty bad. And I believe there's a point later on where you see some really shitty driving from me, but I can't remember if I'm thinking of this run or my first time going through. But oh yeah, yeah, that's right. That was the moment where I nearly went right off the bridge into the water and failed this whole thing. And so my driving does improve somewhat later on in the game. Actually, as I'm recording this, I just finished recording the Arkham Knight Cloudburst tank battle, and I managed to get through that entire thing in one shot, which is freaking amazing. Considering that my first time through the game, it took me about 7 times to get through that whole thing, and managed to get through it with pretty much all the health of the vehicle. I think my armor was completely gone, but the actual like vehicle health itself was still intact. Thanks to a little trick using the environment around you that I'm not really sure if Rocksteady intended people to be able to use one of the buildings in that area when you need to destroy the tank. But I'll go into more details about that when I get there. So when you get to this point with the tanks, if you build up your special, try and save it, because it's either in this video or the next video where you get thrown into kind of a large tank battle with like, I think it's like 15 tanks. So if you can initially just take out like 8 or 10 of them with with all 4 sections of the rocket special, it makes that area about 50 times easier to deal with. And skip ahead to the big cinematic where you see how Barbara got crippled by the Joker. It's kind of some of the like cinematic cutscenes in this game kind of makes sense why this game got an M rating. Especially some of the ones later on in the game. They're really brutal. Just like the tone of them are really dark at times, that I can understand why this game got an M rating. Then this is the whole point where you need to go through the video footage and figure out which vehicle the Arkham Knight put Barbara into. And unlike the previous game, like there's no like you have to figure it out all on your own. So the first time going through this, it took me a few minutes to roll the footage until I got to a point where I needed to be able to see where she, like which vehicle she got put in and everything else. And those are little moments like that where you'll come out of a building and Joker's just standing there, you know, chit-chatting with you.
The tire tracks will lead me to bar. Use the Batmobile forensics kit to follow them.
And then we have this point of we have to track down the tracks, but before we do that, we get thrown into basically the game's way of introducing you to the road bomb side mission. And I believe I ended up using the full rocket special during this part. I need to, yeah. So there's 16 tanks, and I managed to take out 5 of them. I probably could have gotten a couple more of them, but I think some of them were out of range or behind the structure, so the rocket didn't hit it. And the other thing with this whole thing is that you need to stay within the circle. You can kind of go outside it for about 5 seconds before probably it fails you. I'm not very sure. Due to just going through the game naturally, I think I only did like 2 of these outside of this mandatory one, teaching you about the whole thing. But once you, oh, and yeah, this whole thing of you need to rev the car but keep it within that orange marker. It's kind of annoying at times because you have to very lightly press the right trigger, and even just a little bit and it goes completely haywire. But once that's all done, we just need to follow the tracks, and we'll be moving into the next sequence.
Alfred, the Arkham Knight's trail leads into Miagani Island. Lower the Mercy Bridge.
I can't, sir. We're locked out.
The militia must have hardwired into the transport control system. Find me their access point.
Right. Tracing the network traffic, it seems to have all been rerouted to Grand Avenue Station.